website is carltonjones.com. I spell it with a K. I guess that's about it. You may have seen, I shot a little music video, independent music video with P.D. Pablo. You might have seen me in that. And me and my group is down here, and we just, following our dream. We also got it's called a Chop Doctor / Dirty East Entertainment. So be on the lookout for us. I'm so happy to be here to see all my family. What else is there? I know we got a lot of family in the music industry, so I'm definitely going to network with y'all, and it's just good to see y'all. I feel blessed to be here, and thank you.
Thank you. Geneva and St. Clair Witcher, would you come up? Going to be hosting our San Francisco reunion. A little bit about Viola. She lived in Columbus for a very long time, maybe 50 years. So Howard and I retired, and we decided we would go to Columbus to be near our brother and sister. So Viola moved to San Francisco. I don't want to be that close to her to move again, so I'm just visiting her from time to time.
Thank you. It has truly been a pleasure to see so many people. Some I haven't seen, some I heard of. Some of you, I knew you before you knew me and still don't know me, but I know you. That is, I knew you when you were smaller, younger. Okay. I'm Viola Strother, and I think I heard Serena calling me a lot of different names. I have one daughter, 2 grandchildren. Joseph is my second husband. And I'm going to let him talk for himself. I'm a hairdresser, hair replacement technician, licensed barber, a lot of stuff all in that same one line, and a quilter. I love to quilt. When Serena came from Germany, and she came to Columbus to be where I was, and I've taken off and left her. However, when she came, we used to go to my brother's, Benny's home. His son is here, Stuart. And we would quilt on the holidays and be quilting on the table while Jane makes the dinner. And then Serena's showing you one of the quilts that I made, and of course you probably saw 2 of them at the museum, at the Underground Museum. And if those of you who haven't been, you should go, and it's really wonderful. I was just shocked how really wonderful it was. I knew it would be good, but it was better than I even dreamed.
All right.
It's a part of us. It's our history. So if you have historical things, I'm sure that Serena and her daughter would welcome those things. I now live in San Francisco, California. I'm still working. And Milton Strother was my father. My mother was Mary Eva McDaniel, who was related to the Pharaohs. Peter Farrow was my mother's grandfather, so that makes him my great-grandfather. So the Pharaohs, I'm yours. In fact, I'm everybody's over here. Yes. And I see that my brother who died in L.A., his family is here, and they were up and introduced themselves. And let's see, what else can I say? That's about it. I wish my granddaughter had made it. She just became vice principal of a school in Seattle, Washington. She couldn't come, but she really wanted to be here. Hopefully we'll do this more, and you'll get to meet her and my daughter. This is my husband, Joseph Witcher, and I'm going to let him speak for himself.
It is a pleasure.
All right.
I think I met Viola, I think it was 57 years ago. We were seniors in high school in 1949. First time I met her, I went to the restaurant with her brother owned it, and I said, I sure like this lady. And I told my sister said, tell her. So I went down and said something to her, and she just looked at me like a young snotty nose, snacker tooth, barefoot, and I said, okay. But 49 years later, as a matter of fact, I saw her in 1950, then I didn't see her again until 1992, 42 years later. And I did a Muhammad Ali foot shuffle on her, and song and dance routine, and proposed to her the first night I met her, August 15th, 1992, and we got married 60 days later. And then I went to from San Francisco to Columbus to bring her home, and I thought it would take only a few weeks. I was there almost 3 years. Family, friends, job, and church, and everything. It's hard. You just can't break people away that easily. But we go to Columbus every so often, and at least once a year. But I was born in Williamson, West Virginia, and I still have my home there originally where I was actually born. And I love to go through there. It's kind of mountainous, and my wife doesn't like it at all. She doesn't like those mountains. But it's a pleasure, and we're really looking forward to you coming to San Francisco. I mean, it's really going to be good. I was born in a family of 13, 9 boys and 4 girls.
All right.
And I was born in the middle of 2 sets of twins. I was sort of talking about a middle child. When I came there, they said, well, what are we going to call him? Well, call him St. Clair, call him something, you know. And I was sort of a free spirit, and I went to school at the University of San Francisco, the school that Bill Russell made famous. I got my bachelor's degree there, and I got my master's over at San Francisco State University. And I was an accountant for the federal government for 33 years. I retired 20 years ago. Next month I'll be 75, and in good health, so it looks like I think I'm going back to work.
Oh, it has really been a joy, and I hope that you all come back and bring other people with you, because it's good to see family. And some of the people were saying something, I can't remember who was saying, they were a little shaky. Don't be nervous, this is your family. We love you. We love you. And please come back and bring others with you.
I want her to say something about what she remembers about Grandpa Peter, great-grandpa Peter, and Aunt Alma.
We used to go visit them. She was a good cook, number one, and she's got a good cooking daughter that really can cook. And that's the big thing I know about the Pharaohs, is that cooking. Grandpa Peter used to come to see us on a horse, and he'd come and spend the day. And he was a minister, that's the other thing. And he didn't live far from Uncle Tom, but my grandmother, Nora Bell, lived a little bit farther from Grandpa Peter. In fact, Uncle Tom just lived, looked like, what was it, a few blocks? Was hardly, you could almost throw a rock from his house to their house. But we lived a little farther, maybe 4 or 5 miles, and we went to Pleasant Grove. Was it Pleasant Grove Church?
Bailey Bethel.
And Bailey Bethel. And,
Mount Pleasant.
And Springfield.
Yeah, in Springfield. We went to all those different churches. We were Baptist, but we went to Methodist church most of the time because it was so close to us. And my grandmother, Nora Bell, sang in the choir. I think Serena already told you that Milton Strother was our father, and of course there's a big family of Strothers, as you'll see over here, sisters and brothers. But we're the last of the sisters and brothers. That might be of some interest to you. My brother Benny and Serena and I and Lamia, we were the last go round. So my father was up in his years at that time, but I'll tell you one thing, he was a good old man, because he would walk from Edgefield to Callison, which is about, I think, 18 miles, maybe some of you know. And he would do it in a day's time. He would start early in the morning and get there in the afternoon. And he would also go and visit Mary Emma. He had stopped driving at that time. He used to have an old Studebaker. But he quit driving, and he quit coming in the horse and the buggy and all that stuff, and he would walk. And I sometimes think about that. I said, now heck, my father was in his 80s and walking 16 miles. And didn't take him, he'd do it in a day's time. And I suppose he probably stopped somewhere along the way. So all of those of you who think you just can't make it, think about that. Somebody in their 80s walking that far in a day's time. And he'd come and rest, and I never heard him say he was tired. He was, let me tell you this too, he was a school teacher. I don't ever remember learning to read or write. Serena, I had tried to help Serena learn to walk. I don't know if she remembered having someone teach her, but I don't remember, because by him being a teacher and teaching 45 years, he apparently taught me to read and write before I even came into that long-term memory to remember it. And I've done the same thing with my granddaughter. I tried it out on her. And she was reading and writing when she was really young, too. Of course, I think I've told many of you that she just became vice principal. I keep saying it's principal, vice principal of a high school in Seattle, Washington. And I'm just so proud of that. And then I have a grandson. I almost forgot to tell you about him. He's in Columbus. And he is very talented and is supposed to be putting out, who said, a tape or video or song? That's what he's doing. He has a great voice. And he started singing when he was 4 or 5 on the radio. And then he went to Alabama A&M, and now he's doing this video thing and music. Did I forget anything?
Rapping.
Yes, he's rapping.
Well, we appreciate everybody, but we have someone else that we have not heard from. And my daughter Teresa is here, our museum curator and director. And of course, she says that it's my museum, but I say, no, the one who's working every day, that's whose museum it is.
Well, I am so honored and very, very, very happy because I thought we were going to have to assemble all of you to come and celebrate their life when they had gone home to be with the Lord. And I thought that was going to be last March before her birthday. So you could, well, that's what you were saying, they were saying they hadn't given you long to live. Yeah, the doctor had not given her long to live. So I was trying to find some way to honor them because that's the sole duty of a child. And I've given them every kind of soap on the ropes, stocking sausage. She likes sweet potatoes. We've given him every color of necktie and socks and golf stuff and you name it. And they can get what they want. So trying to figure out what to do if you have 9 weeks left to live, it's hard. You don't know which way to go or what to do. And I felt like telling them good thing they were going because I'd beat them up, kill them myself. And she was just not going to do anything the doctor said. So we're just happy that they're here. And I prayed every day. I wanted them to be able to see it. I wanted them to be able to come and enjoy it and see what they had taught me. And I knew it would honor our family, it would honor you all to try and remember and piece it together, and then to see what a great legacy that you all came from. And so what has happened is that we were able to assemble you all to meet one another while they were living. Because the biggest thing was who could fill her shoes when she knew everybody. When she knows everybody's birthday, remembers who married who, knows where you live, knows who's in college, goes through the divorces, goes through someone passing on, celebrates when you celebrate, cries when you cry. And then we lose the address books all the time, so we don't know where anything is.
Kevin and Nicole can vouch for that because I didn't have his address and phone number. I already mentioned before they weren't in the phone book. But I am happy to be here because I do have 4th stage colon and liver cancer. And Howard has recovered from his cancer. He's out of the woods now. He did take chemotherapy. He had a hip replacement. So we just are happy that there's technology that can help you on your way. So I said, well, the doctor said, like 6 or 9 months or 12 months. So I said, well, good, let it find me in a nice hotel having a good time, or in Hawaii, or in Athens, Greece, or someplace, enjoying myself. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about Teresa. She was a ballerina. She had a ballet school. She had a karate school. She's a black belt. She taught at the Ohio State University. And of course, her daughter is now attending the Ohio State University, but Terry started her education career at Ohio State, and then later she graduated West Virginia State, our undergrad alma mater, and then her daughter, Tanisha, said yesterday that she went there 1 year in the country and how awful it was, but I thought it was a legacy. 29 of us from my family and Howard's family has gone to that school, so I was happy to send my daughters and my granddaughters. And hopefully Jasmine, my great-granddaughter, will go one day. But I think that it's wonderful that the elders are here, the young people are here. And I just want to say, young people, find out all the information about the older people. Because when they're gone, your family library is gone. So if you don't know who your great-great-grandpa was, ask me while you're here. I can tell you that information. And I probably am the oldest one here.